G'day you mob. My name's James. I work for the Illawarra Aboriginal Corporation. I've worked here for the past 2 years. When I originally started here, I started as the Ability Links worker. I've been in that role for about 16 months and then I was introduced to the supported decision making role. I took this role on because I understood it to be something that was new and challenging. And I thought, I'd like to get a good concept of what supported decision making is and how it would work within the disability industry. Within my role as a supported decision maker, facilitator, I work with a lot of the Ability Links team that are currently still with Illawarra Aboriginal Corporation in supporting them to understand or educate them on what supported decision making is and how they can use that on a daily basis within their roles. Supported decision making is something that we all use generally on an everyday basis as a person with abilities, but we don't have that concept when we come to somebody with a disability. The way I educated the Ability Links team here is to run them through a bit of an exercise in regards to their daily duties that when they wake up, what do they do, how many decisions do they make just to come to work. So I speak to them on that and they give me a bit of an overview. Oh, okay, I get up, I make some breakfast, I make a coffee, I think about my trip to work, I do this. So I say to them, look, you make a lot of decisions for yourself. Now, let's have a twist on that and think about a person with a disability. When they wake up, how many decisions do they make or how many decisions do they get made for them with a person who's a carer, supporter or a family member? Now, what happens in that role is they will wake up, the family member will say to them, here's your cereal, here's what you're wearing today, here's a cup of coffee, this is what we're doing today and this is where we'll go tomorrow. So they have a lot of decisions made for them. Now, with a supported decision-making role, in my position at this current moment, is to educate an ability linker to walk in and educate that person so it has a ripple effect. So they can say to that person that's supporting them, look, when that person wakes up, how about we listen to their choice and let them have choice and control on what they want their day to look like and what their week to go in to look like. Now, it's not an easy concept. It's a very hard thing because it's not something that you can hold in your hand or even you can read to or something like that. It's a concept. It's a mind change, and it's you educating yourself on what and other people's decisions, how they would like to make their own decisions. You like to make your own decisions. They also would like to make their own decisions, and that's as simple as it is. So, as a person who is educated in supported decision making, you need to adapt your decision making to each individual case. So it's not a matter of each case is the same. So you don't work on the premises that this case, that you do the same for that person as the next person would like. That person will have different choices that they'd like to make. So you need to support whatever decisions they come up with. It may sometimes ruffle your feathers as a person that is supporting them, but you need to understand that it's their decision. They may do the wrong decision, but it's their choice.
The supported decision making is right up the top of the hierarchy. That's the first thing that we should all be doing. You guys are already doing it. The Aboriginal community lives by that. It's all about relationships. It's all about support. So it's not foreign, but the convention had to step it out because we do have legislation that says if someone can't make a decision, then a government body needs to get appointed to make that decision. What is supported decision making? So taking risks as part of decision making is actually a normal part, and it comes back to the convention as well. Yes. Great. Respect their decision. So how do we do that? Now I put you on the spot, haven't I? Yeah, that's right. Listening. It's just listening, isn't it?
For a lot of participants that we work with, to make a decision on the spot doesn't work at all. Yeah. It takes time, and everybody's journey, everybody's decision has a different time frame.
It's important for non-Aboriginal organisations to change the way they think. Yeah. Because blackfellas, we're driven by our hearts. We work with our families and communities all the time. Yeah. Our heart drives us on what we do.
We have one mum that went from attending with her little girl to now being employed full-time around the community, facilitating playgroups in all different areas.
Ability Links is about time for the participant to reflect and walk through what they want to achieve. It's about listening to what they want to achieve, and it's about how we do it and how we make it happen for them to achieve it.
Decision making needs to be driven by the will and the preference of the person. Everyone has a right to make a decision. Everyone has the right to the best support possible. Just like you need a ramp maybe to access a building, good support allows you to make more of your own decisions.
I think it's our attitude towards, and how our approach, and building that rapport. You need to do all those things before you can actually get to some of that stuff. And then it's actually being persistent and having consistency.
Yeah.
And you say you're going to do something, you do it, you honour it.
I'm a person. So yes, I might need to seek out some advice from my doctor if I am going to move and I have blood pressure issues and I need to have medication on hand, fine. But that's part of the process, it's not the central part. It's just asking the person, how can we involve these people that are important to you or might be needed in this situation? Families are critical to the success of supported decision making. They might be difficult to work with, and I don't even like that word, difficult. It might be a situation that needs to be worked through and there might need to be more time. But for the majority of us, family is what counts. Family is what matters. Communication isn't just about the individual either, it's communication with the family, with the circles, with the community. It's broad. Communication has to happen for everyone, and it has to happen in a way that is accessible to everyone.
Understanding the process, what you did, how you got there, and when you're out there with this, talking to your clients, it's just making that informed choice for them.
For me, supported decision making is the technical term. I like to just talk about it as having a yarn, having a discussion and a conversation. So I'm going to share with you, if it's okay, one little story that I've come up with. I was working with a young fella who lived with his mum. His mum was a carer all his life and he just wanted to get out and do things in community. Now this young fella, his mum had made his decisions for him all his life, and as a linker it's my job to sit down and have a yarn with him. So when I did sit down and have a yarn with him, we talked about his passions and his goals and what it was that he wanted to do in his life. And he had one, to us, very small goal, but that was to play soccer in a soccer team. When we sat down and we had that conversation, Mum actually had a few concerns. Mum had made all the decisions for her son all his life. She just didn't feel that he could play soccer, and she just didn't want it to happen. So I guess my role as a linker was really twofold. The first one was to sit down and step out what that decision meant for this young fella, really look at every single little tiny step that he would have to take and inform him of that to get to that goal of playing soccer. But it was also about looking at Mum, validating Mum. It's really important that we don't cut Mum off. She's played an absolutely fantastic role in her son's life for the last 25 years, and then all of a sudden, because someone else has come in and someone else has said, what do you want to do? She doesn't get heard. Well, that's not good. For me, it's really about hearing her and again, stepping up the process of what that means for her. And I think that that's a perfect example of supporting someone to make a decision to achieve a goal they want to achieve.
If you have an NDIS package that's come into you, you then can make controlled choices with the support of your support people around you to make better choices in life and what you'd like to have in your life. So whether you'd like to go and visit the zoo and have that with just one friend, let's have that. Let's give that a go. You have now the choice to do this. If you choose that you want to buy a modified car that can make you get out and about and travel on your own, that is now your choice. You have choice and control over your life. The NDIS plans has now given you your power back to you to make choices of your own. The more that we educate other people in regards to supported decision making, the more that they will educate it. It's like shopping. If you tell somebody, one person about something that's good, they'll tell 10 people. So if you educate people on supported decision making and how they can best support people to make controlled and informed decisions, the more that they will tell other people, and so on and so on.
My name's Amanda. I work for South Coast Aboriginal Medical Service. There's a whole range of different ways you can support someone, from helping them to be empowered to make their own decisions, supporting them to link back into the community, changing your mindset, your own mindset. And, you know, luckily I've got a great boss and a great organisation that support me, and I've got Yana Millie that link in with me, and I've got the Illawarra Aboriginal Corporation that support me in my decision making and make sure that when I'm checking in that I'm back on track. So when you check in with someone to make sure, or if you want some clarification on supported decision making, you know, there's plenty of resources out there, and there are no rights and wrongs, and we do make wrong choices sometimes, and that's okay, because decision making is about choice and then control.